Hey Barney's Keys players, I'm just looking at a new song that we're doing at church called Christ is Risen, He is Risen Indeed. And one of the things that's quite challenging about this song on piano is that there are a lot of chords and they change quite quickly. And so that means that for it not to sound clunky for us, we need to think lots about our voice leading. And I just want to play through one suggestion for a part you could play in your right hand during a verse of this song, and then slow down a little bit and explain the choices that I've made there that hopefully shed some light on voice leading principles more generally. So the song is in A, and I'm going to sing through verse 3 and play the chords that are written on the chart for that. I'm not going to use my left hand, partly because I'm holding my phone with it, but also because the bass player is doing everything that my left hand would be doing in this song. So for the most part, I don't really need to be using it. So if we were in verse 3, so it's going to be A. I'll play it first up to speed and then I'll slow down and explain why I've made particular choices with the voice leading. So here we go. When doubt and darkness once had been, they saw him and their hearts believed. But blessed are those who have not seen, yet sing hallelujah. All right, so what did I do there? Well, the first chord is A, so I just had it in a simple second inversion shape. When doubt and darkness. And then the next bar, we play a D and an E pretty quickly into an A. So what I did there was I went from when doubt and darkness once had been. So there, I didn't worry about playing the whole E chord. I just used that top note, the top note of what I was playing, so that D to E movement, to signal that, hey, look, there's a chord implied here, but it's a passing chord, so I don't need to play every note in that E chord. I can just suggest it. So I did, when doubt and darkness once had been. That's just a simple A in second inversion, up to D in first inversion, throw in that passing E, back to A in second inversion, and then the bar after that is, they saw him, so that's a D in first inversion again, and there. So the chord it goes to then is A on C sharp. And what I've done here is I've said, they saw him and there. So I go up to an E. And the reason for that is that contrary motion sounds really good pretty much all the time. So the bass player there, right, was going from a D, and so they saw him and there, so down to a C sharp. And so since the bass was going down, I decided to make my line go up. So I said, they saw him and there. And it doesn't matter there that I'm not playing the C sharp in that chord, because it's really strongly implied since we're in A major. And to be honest, someone else, like a guitarist, or the bass player in this case, is going to be playing it. So I can just play that one as a power chord, right? A chord without the third note. So they saw him and their hearts believed. So there, the next chord for the whole bar is an E. And so after my saw him and their hearts believed, I went saw him and their, so saw him and their hearts believed. And that's a kind of a nice little melodic thing that gets me into the suspension on the E and then out of the suspension. And this is the bit where I do something a little bit different. So the next chords are D, but blessed are those, A on C sharp, who have not seen. So that's E into F sharp. And here, I've decided that my melody, the little thing that I'm playing in my top voice, is going to go somewhere a little bit interesting. So the chord just says D on the chart, but I'm playing a D major 7 because I want a C sharp in the top there. So, but blessed are, and the next chord is an A on C sharp, but the top note I'm playing is a B. Now, the second, so in an A major chord, right, the B, is always, pretty much always, a nice place to go to soften out your chord. And this just introduces a little bit of tension that makes it quite nice to go straight into an E from there, then up to an F sharp. So putting that whole phrase together so far. When doubt and darkness once had been, they saw him and their hearts believed. But blessed are those who have not seen, yet sing hallelujah. So in that last phrase, after have not seen, I go the B minor chord on yet. I voice that so there's a D in the top. And then the next chord, and the reason for that is that the next chord is an A on C sharp. And I don't really want to play a C sharp as my top note. I want to play an E as my top note because then I'm in thirds with the bass player, right? Because the bass player is playing an ascending line that goes B, A on C sharp, D, E, A. And so if I have a D up the top, we have thirds over that B, and thirds are always nice. So we have yet, and then the next chord, right, is an A on C sharp. So I'm putting an E in the top. Sing halle, and then it's a D, E next bar. And there, what I want is, because the melody is descending, I want my ascending line to go with the bass player there. And then here, I'm kind of stepping from that F sharp that's at the top of my D chord into my E to get me back to the C sharp as the top of my A chord. So the whole phrase again, where doubt and darkness once had been, they saw him and their hearts believed. But blessed are those who have not seen, yet sing hallelujah. And so hopefully that helps you think about some voicings you could play in this song, as well as about voice leading more generally, and about things that you might take into consideration when you want to have something melodic happening in the chords that you're playing.